your children will be that numerous, right? Only if you are dealing with me righteously. And the sign of that agreement, you can say, or covenant, was circumcision. Okay? And then Moses, when he came, he brought that Sharia, the first law. So that law, and then that law was represented by the 10 commandments. Do not steal, do not commit adultery, do not covet your neighbor's wife, whatever, right? That kind of stuff. The 10 commandments. Those 10 commandments were the start of that connection between the Israelite people and God. So God said, if you are dealing righteously, then He will bestow favors upon them. He will grant them many, many rewards. But that's the history. In this context, what is it being used for? It's being used for bath. What is bath? What does the word bath mean?
Take initiation. You take an initiation.
Yeah, initiation. But what is initiation?
Basically, if you want to be a part of a group, a school, a gang, there's an initiation that you need a certain set of things done. You have to agree upon before you can be a part of that group, that cult, that religious group, that piety group, whatever it is. So in this case, Zur, what you just narrated, if you do this, you're not a part of this. You're not a part of the Ahmadiyya. If you do this, you're not a part of this. So you have to abide by these.
Abiding by
those pages you read.
What I've read here from page number 31, 32. Abiding by these acts of righteousness. When we do Noor, listen, stop talking. When we do our bath, we are agreeing that we will try to abide by those things. What are those things? Those are the 10 conditions of bath, right? What are those 10 conditions of bath? The 10 conditions of bath are basically a summary of what the Quran and Hadith are teaching, right? What does it talk about? The very first one is about the affirmation of the oneness of God. The next one is about adultery, fornication, trespasses of the eye, these kind of things, service to others, praying to God, seeking forgiveness, those kind of things. Okay? That is on page 31. More elaborately, saying if you are a deceiver, you're not part of my community. If you want to be part of this righteous group, you have to have a standard of life. And some of those things are mentioned here. There's a long list we have already gone through. And then he says, he who does not believe in me as a promised Messiah and awaited Mahdi is not of my community. And then he says, he has to obey me in all good. What does that mean? Does that mean that the promised Messiah can say something which is not good? Why do we say always that we have to obey him in all that is good?
Everything.
Why does it have to be that we have to obey the promised Messiah in all that is good? What if that phrase has to be added?
Is it implying that he's human?
It's implying that he's a human being? He can tell you something that is not good?
Multiple things you take from it. One is that it's he is good. He always followed good. But how that correlates with the Quran, the teaching of Islam, the teaching of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And I think what I take from it is his teachings. If I'm following it, the right or wrong path, that hey, if I things that can go wrong or something, I feel that okay, so then I know okay, I don't. All that is good, meaning to me would be that this is the right path I should take, or something of that sort. That if I
इसका simple ये है. It's already 8 o'clock, so we should be wrapping up soon. इसका simple ये है कि for a newcomer, right, someone who's not Ahmadi, reading this, what are you making me sign up for? We are telling him very plainly that you're signing up to follow him in all that is good. So that he's not saying that, whatever you say, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? If a new Ahmadi or a new convert comes and says, okay, I want to do bad, and then we say, okay, you have to obey the Khalifatul Masih in everything. It's like, wait a minute, what do you mean everything? Is he going to tell me to go and do something bad or something? No, we want to add that phrase so that new people who are entering the community are comfortable. And they know that we're only asking them to do the virtuous things. We're not going to ask them to do something which is wrong. It's a way to make them feel comfortable. That's one angle to it. So it's not about the human side. Allah makes sure that the prophets He sends, the Khulafa He sends, their human side is there, but Allah will bless that human side as well. You may disagree with what they're saying, but Allah will bless that as well. So it's not that they will have a human side and they'll tell us to do something bad. No, they will not tell us to do something bad. The other thing is that it is a sort of like an adjective. You know, when we say Huzur or when we say Huzur Anwar, right? We're saying respected, right? Huzur is respect, someone respected. Why are we saying that? Because we are just reaffirming that we believe him to be a respectable person. We say Anwar, the enlightened one, because it's an affirmation of our faith. So when we say we obey him and all that is good, it's an affirmation that whatever he's going to say is going to be good. Okay? It's an affirmation of his status. The rest of it was pretty clear.
Sorry, so basically you're saying it's following the school of thought, but not exactly the actions.
In what context are you talking about? Which context?
In terms of what you were saying. Like
Following him and all that is good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're asking?
So you're basically saying, so following the school of thought. In terms of, if you said a new Ahmadi convert.
Right.
Right? Following the school of thought of, say, the Holy Prophet or the Prophet Messiah, but not being 100% literal in terms of the good and bad.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that so a new convert comes, right? We're encouraging him to join the community. We say, if you want to join the community, here is the band, right? Here are the papers you have to sign. So he goes to the papers and then he says, follow the Khalifatul Masih in all that is maroof, and all that is good, right? He would be comfortable signing that. Yeah, I want to be a good person. I want to follow whatever he says, which is good for me. But if you say, follow the Khalifatul Masih in everything, then you're asking for a blind following, which the new convert wouldn't be comfortable with. Think of it from a new convert's perspective. We already know, as Ahmadis, that whatever the Khalifatul Masih, if somebody tells me to sign to follow the Khalifatul Masih in everything, I'll sign it. It's my faith. I know he's going to tell me good stuff. But a new convert may not know that. So he has to be comfortable signing up. He's signing up for something. It's new to him. So he has to be comfortable. So that's why we say maroof. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Rest of it was, page 33 was pretty clear. We have truly omnipotent. What is omnipotent?
All powerful.
Right, all powerful. In our context, in the Islamic context, we like to use the word all powerful. Omnipotent is more like a biblical term, but it's becoming common. I think more people, like I personally am comfortable with all powerful because it's very clear. Omnipotent is a fancy word of saying the same thing, but it is common English now. That's why it's there. God is all powerful, God is all sustaining. The Prophet ﷺ says that when you're praying to God, make sure you know that. Don't think, I'm praying, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. You have to have that trust in God. Alright, Noor? Trusting in the power of God. That is what is very important when it comes to prayers. Any other question, or should we wrap it up?
So the bat is not just we call it like a
separate school of thought we have as MD, like how the other religions they have their own. So it's basically not a different from what Sunni people they believe in the same 10 things which are there in the Quran. Because
Yeah, so when it comes to the conditions of bath, Sunnis have the same thing, Shias would have the same thing, Muslims in general would have the same thing. Because like I said, the 10 conditions are based on the Quran and Hadith. They're not a new list of things, the 10 conditions of bath. The 10 conditions of bath are a summary of, sort of like a summary of the commandments in the Quran, Sunnah and Hadith. With the one statement which is very important, which is that we believe in the promised Messiah and Imam Mahdi. Right? We believe in him. Other people are still waiting for him, or not believing him at all. ठीक है, Jazakallah. Close it now. Jazakallah.